AP Ferg, one of the wickedest in the world. AP Ferg.
In the world.
Lord knows. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, yeah. Malaikum assalam, yeah. Don't test the tribe, no. Cause that's do or die, yeah. This morning I woke up, yeah. Listening to AP Ferg. This morning I woke up, yeah. Varbing to Harlem, cause I'm a Garveyite, yeah.
Yeah.
Wyclef
Garveyite, back to Africa.
Yeah.
Back to Africa.
AP Ferg, yeah. Garveyite, whoa,
Right.
You know I had to give you an intro like that to show you how much I love you.
How you gonna do me? We should have saved that for the album.
I got you, though. You know that. That's Uncle Wyclef. That's 2 seconds. That's like drinking water where I come from. You know that. Coming from Haiti, first Black Republic, getting to America at 10 years old, Marlboro Projects in Brooklyn, mama on welfare. You know, and I always say my mom replaced a gun with a guitar in my hand, you know? Ever since then, I've been going to November. When I listen to you, the only way I could show you that I fully understand you, I'm gonna show you, like, my appreciation for you first so you understand what you mean to me, man.
It feel like my birthday, man.
Play the tune, man. AP Ferg, ça qu'a fait, c'est Wyclef Jean. Respected.
Never know who they run come this. I chat about them 9 Welcome and Chris. But a refugee, we no feel no sound. Man a bad man sound.
Ride with the guards, 12 is the tribe. Lion the Judah, David is the star. Wyclef the name, born in Port-au-Prince. Prince turned king, lions at the fence. They try to maneuver the cougar. J. Edgar Hoover hit me with a tranquilizer. Akon, I was trying to bring light. To the tribe of Levi, bring sight. Cause I was raised in the zoo with Osiris. Seen niggas still more gold than the pirates. Gone to November, I was out of my mind. I should have been selling paintings like JJ from Good Times. 40 acres and a mule dangled on my chain. Once they killed Radio Raheem on that chain. Bang, bang. Son of pain went from nothing to being able. Brother King, jealousy turned them boys savage. No passion for the Christ, free Barabbas. Facts.
Never know who they run come this. I chat about them 9 Welcome and Chris. But a refugee, we no feel no sound. Man a bad man sound.
Ride with the goats, 12 is the tribe. Lion and Judah, David is the star. Wyclef the name, born in Port-au-Prince. Prince turned king, my lions at the fence. Ride with the goats, 12 is the tribe. Lion and Judah, David is the star. Wyclef the name, born in Port-au-Prince. Prince turned king, my lions at the fence. New Jack City boy, Nina Brown. I was raised with the shotters, they don't around. Do whatever it takes to grab your herb gates. You got the juice, but shit gon' kiss your mama at the wake. Pets call me Haitian Sinatra. Cause most of my homies, they Cosa Nostra. But I'm more like Sammy Davis when pressure advance. Cause the more questions they ask, the more I tap dance. If it wasn't for this music, don't know what happened. When I was jamming Jimi Hendrix, they jammed up Manhattan. Yeah, and most of my people are immigration. You know how many souls I know they facing deportation. You know how hard I had to work to get acclamation. Thought I was a sucker cause I wasn't drug trafficking. Ride with the goats, 12 is the tribe. Lion and Judah, David is the star. Wyclef the name, born in Port-au-Prince. Prince turned king, my lions at the fence. Ride with the goats, 12 is the tribe. Lion and Judah, David is the star. Wyclef the name, born in Port-au-Prince. Prince turned king, now my guitar gon' sing. Pull up. So
that's crazy.
So I can't tell you I'm a fan. I could just show you I'm a fan.
Oh my gosh. Wow. When did you do that?
Well, I did that
That's
when...
amazing.
Well, I did that after listening to your song and falling in love with your message, and then I did something called Inspired. And Inspired was who inspires me from the new generation. Because I feel like the disconnect with the young generation and the older generation is frequency. And at the end of the day, we have to respect frequency. And the pulse is always in the youth, you know what I'm saying? You know, at 21, I had a different thought. I'm 50 now, you know? At 21, I couldn't see myself moving nowhere without a gun, you know what I'm saying to you? And at 50, because of everything that I've been through, I've evolved and I've changed. But when I hear you, that frequency I can connect with. So the only way I could explain that was to like give you some poetry and me just telling you how much I respect you, how much I respect Harlem, how much I respect all of y'all and y'all movement in Harlem and what y'all been doing for years.
Thank you for the flowers, OG. I appreciate you too. You're a legend. And if it wasn't for you, there'd be no me. And that's why you connect with me. I mean, we are all one anyway. At the end, that's why it's a universe. You know, it's one song. So, like, you connecting to my music is only because I was connecting to yours and my family was connecting to yours, and you was played in a household, and I respected the message and the frequency that you and the Fugees was on. So, thank you. It's a planted seed that got to me, and I grew with it.
Man, you're amazing, bro, and you know, your story is incredible. You know, like for us, like coming from a hut, no electricity, no water. I'm from a place called Lasser. Nickname at times they call it Little Uzi Town. And your story we relate to, so I have like a whole bunch of people like in Haiti that's tuned in, and Africa, the favelas of Brazil right now. Like, I've been all over. I've seen your name, I've seen your faces on walls that you probably don't even know is on walls all around the world.
Yeah,
so it's important.
That's crazy, man. I haven't probably touched down in there.
Yeah, so it's important that my first question is like, your upbringing,
First
like,
off,
because...
I got a question for you. I got a question for you before you get
all
into
day.
that. When can you send me that song, and when can we put that on iTunes?
Man, you're gonna get this song.
I gotta put another verse on there. I gotta put a verse on there too.
Yo, it's just, I'm just inspired by you. So later today, you'll have the whole thing, man. It's my inspiration to you, yes, sir.
Okay,
Anything at any
I want
time.
to share that with, I want to share that with the world if it's cool with you.
Man, it's beyond cool with me. Frequencies connect, family.
For sure.
You feel me? It seemed impossible, dog, where I came from and telling people what I was gonna be. It seemed like impossible. And when I watch you, your movement, your speech, how you do it your way, how you move your way, where is that from, man? What kind of words can you give us, man? AP Ferg.
It's the same type of impossibilities that I was faced with too. It's conditioning. I had to break a lot of conditions and traditions to, like, you know, find my truth. And my truth is like in my art and just like who I am and what I could show the world to be. That's why we artists, because we show communities in the world that you could be who you want to be, and there's another way. We design, we architects. We design how we see the world. So, I mean, for me, I always had that vision as a kid, and not only that, I had a mother and a father that was on the same time. My mother was more clerical, and she always had a job, and she worked super hard. You know, I had a single mom, but my father was still in my life. He showed me a lot of things as well. My mother kept the roof over my head. My father showed me how to hustle, how to make T-shirts and print, and, you know, how to not take loans and kind of build things for myself, not owing nobody no money, not doing none of that. So he installed, both of them installed a lot of, I just got a lot of juice from them. I got a lot of different, you know, isms from them. So I just always held dear to that. I was not one of them kids that I had to get burned to fit, like, you know, to know that shit was hot. Like I listened to my parents, cause I always wanted to get ahead. So I was like, what's the best way to get ahead? I'm a logical thinker. Like my friends, they want to get burned. I'm like, I'm cool on getting burned. Like I'd rather like skip the line and get ahead. So I listened to my parents. I'm like, they obviously was here 30 years for a long ass time. They know better than me. That was so obvious to me. So I didn't have to, you know, get hurt or fall in too many pits. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, I come from Harlem. You know, I heard shootouts every day. I go to a cookout. And just to get fly, you know that you was gonna hear gunshots. You know, you know you was going. You know that's we used to risk our life to go to picnics. That's what I say in plain Jane.
That's right.
We used to have to risk our life just to get fresh, to see some girls. Like we used to risk our life. That's another thing. Is like we was taught to. I was taught to look the other direction and go the other direction if I seen a funk was, you know, on the corner or something like that. Like I don't run to the problem. I just get away from it. So like, you know, it started in my house. Like my household, my mother, she installed a lot of that shit in me. My father installed the hustle in me. And then I think my father installed the audaciousness. Is that even a word, audacious? I think it's like the audacity. Like, it's just like, it's like, he made me courageous in a way where like one day, like I woke up and I seen a man in my mom's bed and he had like extension braids looking like Stevie Wonder or some shit. I'm like, Mom, who the fuck is in the bed? Like who that in the bed? That ain't my father. But it was my pops with some long ass braids. He just woke up one day and had a vision for braids. And like he just ran with it. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do. Later on, I found out that like my uncle was running away from the cops. So like he went and got braids and my father did it with him type thing. But still, like just to even think like that, he was like, he just followed his heart, and that's how I am. I follow my heart and my gut. And every time I didn't follow my gut, it was just bad for me. I got jumped or some like something was telling me get off the block and I got jumped. Or like it just turned out bad. The label would pick out a record and I knew it wasn't the record. I'm just trying to, you know, work with the label and let them, you know, feel like they're doing something. But like every time I felt like it wasn't it really wasn't it. So I just learned to really follow my gut. And even like coming up in Harlem, like with the fashion and all of that, they used to call us gay for like wearing the clothes we wore. We would get into fights because of that. They just didn't understand it was another world out there. Like there's Soho and there's model girls out there. Like I bring girls back to the block and they think they was my friends, but them my chicks. I'm telling they girls about that's going on, Celine bags and Prada and Margiela and all of that like that. They couldn't have that conversation. I was advanced.
Yes.
And art and fashion, I went to art school. I went to school of art and design, the same school that not East Laurent, Donna Karen went to, Jay Mills went to that school, Fabulous went to that school, and Prodigy went to that school. Both Mobb Deep, Prodigy and Havoc went to that school. Like a lot of Pharoah March went to that school. A lot of people went to that school. So I went to art and design. I majored in fashion and fine arts as my major. So my dad owned a store called Ferg Apparel. He designed as well. He made all of the fly shit. I feel like Puff got a lot of inspiration from my dad because he was hanging out with my pops. My father was a little older. He would take him around Harlem and that. This was back in the days. Like Puff was down with a crew called Butt Naked Crew. And they used to be throwing all of these parties and shit. But he also used to hang out with my pops. My father had a crew called Same Gang. It's very similar to ASAP, where it's like a collective of like dope individuals that just do shit, throw parties and invite all of the girls and throw cookouts and shit and have 50 buses going to Bear Mountain, wet t-shirt contests. And this was back in the days where like Frank, when what's his name, Uncle Luke was like turning up and shit, like everybody was on that time. He was on that time. So my father did the Bad Boy logo for Puff, and he did the Cats logo for Andre Harrell. So I grew up around a lot of music because they would send him a lot of free music, albums and like that. If you listening to that I didn't know who Biggie was. I just knew that it was this white CD with a brown baby with an afro on the front. And that's all I remember, but I didn't know that I was listening to Ready to Die, or listening to Mary J. Blige 411, or listening to Fugees, or listening to Total, or listening to Heavy D, Teddy Riley. I didn't know what I was listening to until like I was old enough to know what I was listening to and do my own due diligence on it. So that's a bit of history for me. And I come from Harlem, of course.
Yeah. So AP Ferg, man, I just want to start off by saying your father, your mother, it makes me understand even more, you feel me? You in Harlem, I'm in freaking, I had left Brooklyn, I was in New Jersey, in Newark. And my father, his whole thing was like, he always wanted to save the hood. So what he did was he would build, like my dad, he put a church in the hood. And
that's fire.
Being like,
hood pope shit.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, he'd be like, yo, I'm going to put a church. And so in Newark, we lived literally 1108 South Orange Avenue, car theft capital of the world. At the time, New Jersey Drive. My dad, one day, we driving from East Orange and he sees a burnt funeral home. And he's like, the Lord has given me a vision. We're going to move here. Dude, my dad literally moved us inside of a funeral home. So we lived on in a burnt funeral home in 1108 South Orange Avenue. And at the time, my dad's vision was like, he gonna take this funeral home and he's gonna turn it into a church, you know what I mean? And I thought my dad was out of his mind. I was like, dude is moving us into a funeral home. And you're like 15, 16, and the worst thing you want as a 16-year-old is for you to be walking out of a fucking funeral home and for a girl to see you. Like, that's like suicide. It's tragedy, you know what I'm saying? So every day and going to school, I would have to sneak outside, you know what I'm saying, before all of the other students went, you know, so we wouldn't be called the Haitians Adam family, right? And
that's kind of fire though. You should make a cartoon based on that.
Yo, well, with your creativity, I have my creative director right here. I ain't worried about it.
Let's do it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. So in the hood, we had an Irish pub on the right side, and on the left side, we had a mob family that literally ran a section. And one Saturday, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I look at the funeral home in the backyard, and I see all these Eldorados, right? And I see my father said, whose cars is these cars? And I watched enough mob movies to know those Eldorados, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, yo, when I'm telling you, like, 200 Eldorados. So my father said, I go talk to them. You come with me now. And I'm just showing you, like, so when I'm listening to how your pops and how he moves, so my dad literally goes, and he goes to where they running the numbers, and he knocks the door. And he's like, the dude opened a little thing, and he was like, who you want? My father said, whose cars are those cars over there? And the dude go, Jimmy, it's the minister. I think you have to come in the front and have a talk with him. So Jimmy comes to the front, and my father said, look, all these cars here. I want all these cars moved. And Jimmy goes, come on, Pastor. I'm Catholic. Don't you see the cross? Can't we work something out? And my father said, these cars move right now or I call the police. And Jimmy said, look, every Sunday, minister, you don't have to tell me. I'm gonna come see you. Dude, them dudes would have an envelope for my daddy every Sunday. And what's deep about that, which people don't talk about, is the mob actually helped fund what became the Church of the Nazarene on the block in 1108 South Orange Avenue. So we couldn't even see. I only tell you that because when you tell me how your pops was moving, it's deep because all my father saw was if he ain't see the burnt funeral home. He saw that big parking lot. And in his brain, if he can buy that lot then all he do is just make people pay him until he can build the church. So today, we got one of the finest churches in 1108 South Orange Avenue. And I only say that because of the entrepreneur spirit of when I'm hearing, you know, the movement of your dad and understanding, you know, your mom too. So for me, it's definitely incredible. I had Lena Way on my show, right? And she's amazing, Queen and Slim, The Shy, amazing. And I told her, look, in high school, they consider me a weirdo, right? Because I would come in with my long trench coat, my derby hat, I was listening to Culture Club, Boy George, you know what I mean? Or I had my fake English accent in, acting like I was Cockney, you know? And at times, I would literally take 4 days and play hooky and be with a girl just to come back, you know what I mean? And they go, yo, where you been? I'd be like, what you mean where I been? I've been in London. And they like, this kid is really out of his fucking mind, right? So, yo.
That's hilarious.
Yo, so
that's fire.
I say that, yeah, I say that because even though we was in different places, I would say from the fashion to the clothes to the ideology of just listening to how you moving. There's something about you that reminds me of punk rockers, right? Because at the end of the day, I could always relate with the era of the movement, and I'd be like, yo, a punk rocker is not necessarily a white person. This is what I'm explaining. I said a punker is a rebellious person. That's right, you're kidding me? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. So I think we both are punkers. So that's another connection that we have.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I could definitely relate to you. They say sometimes, you punks 100%. Inside of your song, you know, I listen to lyrics very deep, man. And I hear there's, you know, I'm not sure if you're Muslim, you know, if you know, growing up, my father raised us Christian, right? Today, I could just say I'm a spiritualist, right? I believe in good and bad doesn't weigh within the same space. You know what I'm saying to you? And constantly believe in my belief. What's your ideology, man, as far as like how you feel about spirituality and what do you categorize like yourself as?
Well, I could agree with you. More spiritual than anything. Like, I feel like religions divide us. But I have my grandfather that passed away was a Muslim, and my grandmother practiced with him. My cousin, which is my assistant, is a Buddhist.
Yeah.
My other uncle, my uncle is a Baptist, and I went to Catholic school. So it's like, you know, I done got a chance to study everybody, and just along the lines of me just studying life and just people that always had charisma to me, like Gandhi, or like Malcolm X, or like Martin Luther King, or Marcus Garvey and the Garveyites. You sing about the Garveyites. Like, I study all of these people that had, you know, pull. You know, I study everybody. Elvis, Andy Warhol, Basquiat, Jeff Koons, whoever you want to talk about. Fashion designers, the good and the bad and the ugly. I study everybody. Because I just want to know how people think and how they make people tick. I think if I wasn't a rapper, I'd be a psychologist. And I think that's how I'm able to make a hit, is because, one, I got a gift, but two, I know how to channel into that gift. I know how to tap into people's subconscious in a way where it's like, I can see what makes them tick. Because it's psychology for me. Music is psychology for me. It's like, how you gonna know what to give people if you don't know what they want? You gotta study the people.
History is important, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't understand the mindset of what certain people do, how the hell would you liberate your people? Because at the end of the day, if you gonna bring some form of like nuance and some form of leadership to people, you have to understand the past. So definitely, I understand what you're saying.
When you looking for confidence in yourself, like, you know, during a time like this, a lot of us is getting killed off. like they treat us like we aliens that's invading the earth, and they just want to wipe us off the earth. I'm talking about black people. You know that can do a lot. It's like back in the days with the Willie Lynch letter, like when, you know, we was on a plantation and they would embarrass us in front of our wives and our children to put people in line. And it's all conditioning. Like when I look at Instagram and I see all of us being killed, like that is like desensitizing us. I don't even like to watch that because it's desensitizing us. It's designed to make us feel like this is normal, but it's really not normal. So that's why I'm super positive, and I just try to bring light into the world because I know it's so much darkness. I don't understand it, but I do kind of understand it because with dark, we have light, and without light, you want to know what dark is. It's like the yin-yang shit. It's like you got to have a balance in the world. There's always going to be some bullshit. And plus, hurt people. I understand all of that. But the thing is, what I'm here to do and my purpose is to bring joy to the world. And, you know, white people, black people, everybody, I bring joy. Like, racism is taught. That shit is not. You're not born being racist. That's not like a thing. It's being taught, so we gotta unteach these things. When I'm at my shows and I'm turned up and I got like all of these people in the arenas and they just going crazy and they reciting my lyrics and all of that, that shit is church. But everybody's going crazy, and that's a moment of time where we could escape from the fucking harsh realities of the world. So my whole thing is like, to spread light, man. I wanna be a light spreader.
When we show up, my gift, man, at 50 years old is like when I show up at anywhere, Abu Dhabi, like you, Germany, anywhere, and I get on that stage, pick up that instrument, put my hand up, and I look at the crowd. I don't see no colors. All I see is a flea of love and energy. And so to your point, yeah, ain't nobody born no racist.
Because love is key.
Period.
Look at Bob Marley. We seen his documentary. Love is key. Well, they try to off him too, because it was too much love.
100%, man. Oh yeah, so peep it. I had some battle rappers in my studio. On a lighter note, right? I'm like a big fan of battle rap. So people don't know that about the Fugees. I came up battle rapping.
Me too.
So when we see each other like face to face, we gonna like bar up.
Oh, I can't wait. And I'm a freestyle.
And you gotta be out. I can't wait to have you at the house, because I was looking forward to you coming.
We can do it right now.
Go in.
I want all the smoke. Wyclef. I'm like, why is you a chef? You ain't cooking up nothing, you fronting. Matter of fact, you be running. My on the block will cut you like a pumpkin. I don't give a you sweeter than a pumpkin. Yeah, you acting like you stunting with a little Bugatti in Abu Dhabi. Motherfucker, I'll body you, come through, hit you with the 2-2 like Marty do. Listen, you know how I come through, block, hit you with the 1-2, like what you gonna do? I got 1-2 for you. I got 1-2 for your crew, and your boo-boo too. And you doo-doo too. Matter of fact, I don't see you dudes. You might be, I could keep going forever,
Yo,
man.
It's so funny, man, that you said I'm the 1-2, right? But I'm the one, and I know what you thinking, me too. Ferg, but in this game of numbers, they could only be a few. I'm the Trinity. Now, you guess the riddle, kid. One man on two sticks. What's that? The crucifix. At least that's what they taught me in Sunday school. Forgive my foes. Fives pointed at Pinocchio's nose. Now, Ferg, skip the 6, go to 7. That's the number of completion. Adam ate the apple, so they cast him from the Garden of Eden. Jealousy got him waving his 9. Cain kills Abel. He, a 10 man. His heart pumps oil. When it come to freestyle, trust me, I'm insane. Far from a pumpkin, I'm more like a Jacqueline. I keep it green, Wyclef, that MC. Yes, in Abu Dhabi, I had a jet, never Bugatti. That cost too much. I'd rather buy buildings so I could save all the money for my children and they children's bars.
You talking about sticks, pause, and my crucifix, your whole crew I'll fix. I don't give a about your mix. I'll make cold and hot at the same time like Vicks. Matter of fact, I'm hotter than grits. You can't diss. You see all of this gliss. this, nothing on the wrist, but my grills cost about 100 bricks. T-Nice used to whip the bricks. Now he on my tour with the chicks. Do I gotta go down the list? Do I even talk with a lisp? Song with Nas, song with Nicki called Hips. Out right now. Better go get it.
I'm for sure gonna go get it. Bar God. I love you, boy.
Yeah. Love you too, man.
Yo, so we gonna wrap up.
I can say I went bar for bar.
We bar, man. Listen, man. Yo, man. So I look forward to seeing you at my house, man.
I can't wait. We gotta do a song too.
It's AP Ferg. Yeah. It's AP Ferg.
Yo, Wyclef, I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
I appreciate you.
I love you, so I'm
I was speaking about you to Young Thug.
That's my heart.
2 days ago.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, I said you're like a new day Wyclef.
Of course.
He said, oh my gosh, yes, that's the OG, of course, yes.
That's my heart.
Just like that.
I love that. Yeah, I love him to death, man. Cool. Yeah. All right, so we'll stay locked in.
All right, no doubt. Peace.
All right, love you. Peace, gang.